Hey there, once again, it's your host Dan. One thing first is gloves. I should have been wearing these when I took the car apart because I've got some dirt under my fingernails that I can't get out, and it's probably going to take a week or two. And also, since there was some fiberglass damage, I think there's probably a little bit of the dust somewhere in here, and this is all dirty. So I'm going to take a moment and detail out this section of the car because I can't get to it once everything's on top of it. And then when I'm doing the repair, I'm not going to get all dirty. I'll probably still wear gloves, but we're going to take some super clean here, and we're just going to douse the area. Also too, while I'm doing this, while I'm taking the time to detail this out, and I mean most shops wouldn't do this, but it's also going to let me reassess, you know, all the damage that was done. Like I know, for instance, here on this fender well, up at the top, there's a little bit of a crack right here, and down low here, there's another crack here, which once the coolant can's in, you'd never see this, and you might never notice this. This piece here, I maybe could leave it. I don't know. I haven't decided. The wiring, the turn signals on the side and on the front, the plugs are damaged, so I'm going to have to get new plugs, and we'll have to splice those in. That's fairly easy, at least for me. Give it another shot of super clean here. Let this sit, but we'll get everything detailed, so everything's going to be nice and clean in the front end. This is an area that I probably would have a real hard time to get to if everything's on the car, so I might as well just take the time while everything's off and do the best I can and get as clean as possible. I'm just using the spray bottle for water. This way it'll just give me minimal water spillage on the ground, so I won't have to clean up. And then I'll kind of just come in here with a rag, and in case there's any areas I missed, give it a nice wipe down. Okay, and since it's still a little dull looking in here, I'm going to use some of this Turtle Wax Seal and Shine. And if you follow anybody's like detailing videos, I mean, this stuff is, this stuff's pretty much top notch. So I'm going to just kind of spray this on everything. Just hopefully give it one last clean and seal, shine, pop. Yeah, yada yada, all that good stuff. Okay, not much dirt on this rag. So if I do this with my hands without gloves on in the future, I'm not really going to be getting too dirty at all, if at all. It's like working on a new car, which is really the way this car should be. Okay, and you can also notice too here that this part of the tie bar that goes across the front of the frame, this here is folded over, obviously when the part of the impact bar broke off and everything got pushed in here into this corner. So I'm going to try and straighten this out myself. So this area is all cleaned out. It's looking good in here. I'm going to start moving over here and clean the middle area up and move over to the other side. Make things a little easier with the cleaning down here in the nose. I'm just going to get the air cleaner assembly off. It's these two nuts here. Those pull off, these spring clips. And we got a clip over here on the side. It's going to lift out like so. So all these little areas that I'd never be able to get into, I'm just going to come in here and clean off everything as best I can. Come down in here. I can get down in the areas I can't reach with the brush. Okay, so I got this complete half of the front end all cleaned up. It's coming out a lot cleaner, and you can see the difference from the left side to the right side with, you know, getting it cleaned up with the super clean and using a quick spray wax to just try and just give it a little bit of sheen, but not make it all gooey. And I think it's coming out nice, so we'll continue on and do the other side. Now I got to be careful when I'm just spraying around here for one reason right here. This is a relay pack, 5 relays in a row, and nobody else's Corvette will have this. So if I said, hey, does anybody know what this is? Nobody would know what this is. This is something I built into the cars as part of my daytime running lights, which light up the turn signals in the bumper up solid, like you have your turn signal on both sides, kind of like the newer Camaros, like they did it in some of the other late model GM cars in the late 2000s. So I can't just spray product. I don't want it getting in between the socket here. I had thoughts of someday of making a little plastic cover to kind of go over this, but I don't drive this car in the rain, and this was put in 20 years ago and it still works absolutely perfect. So I have no problems with that, but I know not to just spray this. So I'm gonna spray around it, and then these areas I'll just do by hand. I'll just spray some on a rag first, of course, you know. So just figured I'd let you guys know that. You know, sensitive areas in the car, you just don't want to start spraying, you know, things like cleaners on them. You don't want to get them all corroded or gunked up or whatever. Let's see here. Now that we can kind of lean down a little. Okay, now we can move the wiring around, get to the base. I'll get a little pre-rinse going on some of those dirty spots. Ugh. Look at all that dirt down there at the bottom. Blah. Oh gosh. Have to spray that again. So I'm just going to concentrate on this little back wall for now, and we'll just do it in sections. Just make it easier for me. Here, we'll give it a little water spritzer spray. Once again, I think people will probably think I'm nuts for detailing a smashed car, but you know, I can make sure, check every last, you know, little area and fastener, and check everything for cracks or things that are out of alignment, or, you know, shouldn't be that way. You know, I might not have the eagle eye somebody who does this for a living might have, because, you know, I'm just a DIYer guy, you know. So doing it this way, I think that you know, just by making sure I get all the dirt out of every single crevice, I'm going to notice every single crevice, and when I do, if there's something wrong with it, I should be able to see it. Now, this side really has nothing wrong with it. This side is just, you know, as it should be. Clean around that. Next up, I'm going to go down below here, get this all cleaned out. It's a good idea to inspect up in here, make sure if you got any leaves that are in there covering up the radiator, it's going to inhibit the flow. So I'm going to go ahead and clean all this out. I noticed that right up here there's a fastener, and there never was a screw there. I didn't take that out when I took everything apart, so I'm going to get another 7mm and I'll reattach this. And let's see here. the lower part here is hanging down. It's supposed to be attached right up here at the top. It's kind of broken off. I'll refasten this and get this back up the way it's supposed to be, and we'll get this all cleaned out, and I'll go in there maybe with like a toothbrush and see what I can get off the condenser, some of that funny business in there, and we'll get this all cleaned out, and then the whole front will be cleaned up. Let's see, up here in the corner I got that 7mm put in, and right here the 10mm that holds the lower part onto the upper part. I got this reattached to the bracket. The 10mm, the head part pulled straight through, so I just have a washer on there for now. It should hold. I was kind of just yanking this thing around. It's not going anywhere, so that should be good. One thing I like to do is, you know, even though this area wasn't damaged, I can still, just by doing this, once again, just kind of go over the whole area just to make sure no screws are missing, see if anything else is broken or else needs to be repaired. And I think we're pretty much done in the lower area. Now the next item to address is going to be the tie bar.